Plug it.
She's looking at A-Train.
A-Train like, oh, shit.
Oh, who's this
Like,
guy?
is it me? Is it me?
He thought he was getting dimed out.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Cameron.
Because that looked like, he's like, what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ashley.
Yes.
Reject me, will you?
Take out your anal beads, will you, from me?
Show me a little wrath.
Oh.
Deep's always the first to
yeah.
comply.
A-Train
Once
not
again,
gonna do
A-Train hanging back.
No. These are dead noises.
And he just, that's squishy.
Dead man noise.
Yeah, that's squishy,
This
yeah.
is squishy. Welcome back to the after show here on the break room. Hey, old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I. Oh, God, no! Hit that graphic.
Who wrote this in the
I wrote that in the script, Jay.
He's killing it. Give this man a raise.
Come on. That's good stuff. And we've only just begun. That's right. Today we're talking about The Boys, Season 4, Episode 5, Beware the Jabberwock, my son. And in this episode, we watch Huey Sr. jabberwock his way through a few people at the hospital.
Literally.
Tough stuff, tough stuff. But what is Sage's endgame here? And would a Victoria Newman, Stan Edgar family alliance be able to challenge the smartest being on Earth? We'll get into that and more. I'm Brandon Barrick, and joining me today, she's pissed because she just submitted her final draft of her super school script, and now the project is off. It's Gina Ippolito.
I will not be accepting notes at this time.
Can you imagine getting notes from that little dweeb? And he is just a few bad comments in the comment section away from becoming a wrathful god. It's Jay Washington.
This is the realest statement ever written about me.
I knew it, Jay.
This is the realest shit I've ever seen since I've been on the break room. That's just, I'm a few comments away from just going in on everybody.
No more hero. He will be your
I mean, I'll live to this.
God.
It's not even supervillain, just rap.
People in the comments can make it happen.
They
Right.
They do. We
Don't
know.
push him. Don't push him.
Don't encourage it,
We have
Gina.
to be here in person with him. We got to talk about Butcher's dark passenger. We got to talk about the Joe Kessler character, and we definitely have to talk about the soup virus. But before we do all that, Jay, kick us off with a little bit of a recap.
I don't know how many words this will be because our producer didn't normally write this. all right?
It's a little longer than 500 this time.
Okay, cool.
I didn't abide by the restrictions.
There's no restrictions. So this episode is fully brought in the events of Gen V, and after some gentle teasing this season, Butcher receives more information on the soup-killing virus from Joe Kessler, which Jeffrey Dean Morgan is doing an amazing
Right.
job,
Some
by
good
the way.
lines. Some good lines for Joe.
Yo, he just like, hey, bro, get your shit together. Your team, hey, we get it together, all right? Now, more on him later. Now, Victoria Newman now has the only sample of the virus, and the boys want to get their hands on it. Butcher gets and MM get a presidential pardon to Stan Edgar, and he's back. Here's the only way that worked, though. It was like, hey, Stan, look, we need you to take out this chick. He was like, nope, that's my daughter. But she got Zoe out here with tentacles. I'm in. Let's do it.
I was surprised to see. I didn't think we would get Stan Edgar this season.
Oh, I did.
We know about this?
You had to.
No, I did. It was long enough that we sort of forgot about
Yeah.
him. But he is. It makes sense when the boys are doing everything they can.
It was great. And
You
so-
need-
some good one-liners from him, too.
Yeah,
He really
yeah.
Oh,
killed
you
it.
gotta love Giancarlo.
He really killed it.
Do you have a napkin so I can sit on this?
So good. So
Now, the pardon rests solely on the condition that Edgar can help them obtain the virus. The boys minus Huey, which is with his mom and dad, Brandon.
Brandon,
Okay.
and if he was here, Evan, you were
Evan,
wrong.
you were wrong as well.
Jay and I were right. She's a real
Person.
A nurse touched the mom. Okay, I saw it. A nurse
I was-
passed her in the doorway and was like, but they went out of their way to
No.
not have that woman interact with
I
anyone.
was 5 minutes into that episode, and I texted Brandon, "Did you watch the episode yet?" And he said no, and I was like, "Please."
They
watch
wanted
it.
us to think that maybe she wasn't real.
No, only you and Evan thought
Only
that.
y'all thought that.
I was not a part of this conversation. You guys were having it, and I'm not on mic right now, so I apologize. But there was no evidence to support that whatsoever.
Exactly.
She never
you.
interacted with anyone but you.
Literally, the doctor said your mom.
Mom asked to
it
control.
yeah.
The doctor said
But
it.
it doesn't mean that she was there in the room.
Why would Huey know it only came up from his mom? Anyway,
You've been proven wrong. Let's move on.
let's move on. Now, they arrive at Stan's farm, now the one we saw in the trailer. Now, they discovered that within it, Victoria's built a lab for the study of the virus. Now, in a wild turn of events, it's revealed that Compound B is leaked into the water supply, and all the animals on the farm are roid raging, okay? They are amped up and desperate to commit hilarious barnyard violence, which they do a la South Park Crudely Critter style.
I want to know if it affects the bugs, because that would be more terrifying.
Oh, the worms are like indestructible.
Yeah,
and they just start
they turn into dune sandworms.
Yeah.
They like come up and they're like, ride me. That's what they say.
They say, what now?
Ride me.
Ride me.
Okay, all right.
Get
Son,
down.
I gotta leave, right?
Okay, all right, that's the thing.
So during the chaos, the boys find Newman and Dr. Samir Shah, a longtime employee of Vought, who is also revealed to be Zoe's dad.
This was fun.
I want to know what he thinks of of her tentacles now.
All I
He's
know
like,
is Stan
"Oh,
ain't happy at that.
Smile for the camera, baby.
Stan thinks Newman is like a virgin. He deflowered.
She's like, I was 22.
She was like heavily deflowered.
Yeah, she's like, I grew up in Vought. You think I didn't fuck every superhero that came in that door? Anyway, Shaw only has one dose of the virus left, which they have to use to poison the souped up sheep that are attacking them. The boys, Stan and Victoria, all escape, but Samir disappears in the chaos, leaving behind only a cleanly
It was
severed
so
foot.
cleanly cut. I was like,
Yeah,
You saw that too?
that
Yeah.
sheep didn't bite it off. The
Yeah,
sheep
yeah.
was like, yum, 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 yum.
I want
think-
to save my meal.
It was like a Shaun the Sheep moment where he puts on the little napkin and gets
Well,
a little...
it's like, it kind of shows like Butcher he's a bad dude for doing it, but he's a nice dude that he was like, well, I gotta make it look like the sheep did it.
Yeah.
And do a hack job. He did a clean cut.
Yeah.
Which was
And
that
he,
was
like,
the kindest way to
he,
do that,
He
right?
took care of it right away. I don't know why he couldn't just like take a couple toes and it was like,
They
look,
needed-
so a baggie of Samir's
A
toes.
toes?
A
Toes aren't
baggie of his
convincing.
toes.
No one has toe prints. I guess if you're, I guess they footprint you as a child. Do your toe
Yes.
prints change over time?
Yeah, that's
Do you
like people gotta
identify
get-
an adult from their baby footprints?
Someone dig up your old baby
Yeah.
toe prints and send them to
That
us.
is a weird thing to request on the internet. That's how you get on WikiFeed. Okay.
I'm already on WikiFeed. Anyway, with all samples of the virus now seemingly lost, Stan gets sent back to prison, but Newman frees him en route. However, it's revealed Butcher has kidnapped Samir and is coercing him to create more of the virus. We'll see if this works. He wasn't the only one working on that virus. We saw the other dude get his head popped.
Sure.
After the farm fiasco, Frenchie gives in to the guilt due to the many, many murders he's committed and turns himself into the cops.
Weird move.
Guilt and dick is a hell of a combo. Because that's what it was. It's only after he was banging Colin
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he gets guilty.
Yeah.
Men would rather turn themselves into the cops
They
than
go to therapy.
This is probably the good thing to do in this instance, right? Shouldn't he turn himself into the cops?
I mean, let's be honest.
Listen, he's
killed a
never
kid.
gonna survive. No,
He's
just
not
deal
gonna
with your-
stay in jail.
All the boys have killed many people. We can't have them
Frenchie
turn
did this
themselves.
Huey
outside
is a
of-
murderer now, okay? Huey don't even like
Huey
he's-
was a
guys.
murderer
That
in the
was
pilot
compassionate.
episode.
I know, he murdered- he
when
murdered-
he killed Translucent.
Lucid.
Translucent. Yeah, it's true. Well, all of these events happened during the excellent Vought V52 Expo, where a host of new superhero movies and shows are being announced. While this is going on, Homelander bonds with his son Ryan by encouraging him to follow his heart and drop out of a lame piece of Vought content. But when Ryan reveals a desire to help others, Homelander sees a great opportunity and offers Ryan the ability to help a PA who's being sexually harassed by the sleazeball director, Adam Bork. Ryan forces Adam to apologize and equally allows the PA to slap the crap out of him. Many, many slaps.
Oh, I love
He really
this part.
goes to town.
I'm now in favor of whatever Ryan wants to do.
Yeah, well, not whatever. I mean,
Also,
here's the
shout
thing.
out to every PA that's watched this
Yeah.
episode that is in the industry that was like, baby girl, get your
Yes,
slaps.
yes.
Anyone anywhere who's been, abused through power. you know what
I
mean?
would like to enact a new program that at the end of any season of TV or end of any movie, a PA gets to slap whoever they want for 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I think that would make
30 seconds,
productions
huh?
a much more pleasant place if you knew that you might be in the running to get slapped.
It's true. It's true. I would be on my
Can y'all
best
show me the running total every day? I need to know what. I need
Where
to know
am
if I'm at where I'm at.
Where
just,
am I at?
just in case I made some mistakes. I want to drop low on
No,
this list.
you got to wait for the season to end to see if you're the loser.
A-Train is really feeling the heat, and he blackmails Ashley into helping him play innocent, as he really fears that Sister Sage suspects he is the one leaking information to the boys. Ashley, who's just been dumped by her sub, Vought News' own Cameron Coleman, later frames him as the mole. Homelander has the Deep and Firecracker kill the mole while telling the Seven that soon they will transition from beloved superheroes to wrathful gods in order to save America from itself.
Do we know that he dies?
Did he die?
I don't know.
I mean, I think that's what is implied.
No, they could just beat him up real bad.
I mean, it was like making squishy noises.
Yeah, I could make squishy noises and not kill you.
Well, you can't like.
Excuse me, what? Can you
I
please?
can
No,
kick a
we
man
don't-
hard enough to make squishy noises, but have him just.
I'm sorry.
end
Do
up
you
in
know what that
intense
means?
You can't leave him alive at that point, right?
No, he's a puppet for, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill. What you end up doing is you say, like, oh, Cameron Coleman, like on the Fox News-esque show
Right.
that he runs, you announce, like, oh, Cameron Coleman, like, oh, he was brutally beaten by a bunch of, like, you know, Starlight, or you say, like, oh, he was accused of this, now he's going to sensitivity training, he'll be back in a
That's what
month.
they'll probably do. They'll probably do that one.
And then when he comes back, he's more compliant than ever.
Well, maybe he's not dead. We don't know.
But also, he said, remember, he told the Deep, he said, look, I have to do this whole thing. I have to report both sides, so I seem fair and balanced. So with this ass whooping he took, because he only had Noir and Firecracker do it. Firecracker is just an upgraded Jubilee. She don't really do no. Actually, she's a low grade Jubilee.
Jubilee's a powerful.
Yeah, Jubilee shoot out, and Firecracker just, hey, I'm here. That's Sparkle.
Right.
And so I think he just got whooped real bad, like Gina said. Yeah, Cameron Cole's in sensitivity training.
Alive.
And he'll be in sensitivity training.
He's alive.
Okay.
With his Bluetooth anal beads in.
Okay.
I think the fact that they didn't show it, whereas like on this show, it's like, oh, I just lasered through a guy's dick and now he's dead.
We saw the
they
dudes get
usually
beat with the
show
bat.
it. The fact that they didn't show it, I think, means he's alive.
We saw the dudes get beat with that bat, remember?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
I was completely wrong about Huey's mom, so I'm going to stand my ground here and say that Cameron Coleman is dead.
Dig your heels
R.I.P.
in. Dig your heels
In
in.
the arms. Anyways, so okay, maybe he's dead, maybe he's alive. I don't know. They beat the crap out of Cameron Coleman. To what end, we'll never know. Finally, at the hospital, it's revealed that Daphne did indeed give Huey Sr. the V.
Another thing I was right about.
Right,
Yep.
right. Well, I thought
Gina,
she
you
was.
was on point.
I thought she was a vision, so whatever. He seems to recover. He seems to be fine. Everything's going great, and then his memory starts to slip. He gets very confused and he starts phasing. He kills several guards and doctors and patients. It's pretty bad. And then he gets angry because he sees his ex-wife and he's in the past and he's angry at her for abandoning him and abandoning her son.
He's also so good in this. Like,
Right.
Simon Pegg is amazing.
my only complaint about this series is that they never use Simon Pegg enough when he's the character that Huey was modeled after in the comics. So I wanted them to use him more, and he really got a meal out of this one.
Yeah.
And also, Huey says in this scene, well, not in this whole thing, is like, oh, he was brain dead.
Right.
So that's probably why the V is acting the way it is in him.
I say give him more V. See if that fixes it.
They say something too about like the older you are when you get the V, it's like not as good for you. It's like
Listen,
dangerous.
move him to like a remote location and just keep pumping him full of V until it fixes itself. Throw more
Jeez
V at the
Louise.
problem.
I don't know. I mean, it's.
Hey, are you a Vought employee without telling us?
I'm just saying, if it takes a couple of dead people to keep Simon Pegg on a show, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Simon Pegg's gone and Mom's here to stay, I guess, for now. It was a really interesting scene because, you know, in a couple of episodes, they kind of forced Huey to deal with his mother, to accept her,
His
and ultimately,
real
like,
mother.
defend her,
His real mother.
Everyone's dealing with the past this season. That's
Right.
the message of this season. Homelander going back to his past, Huey seeing his mom and dealing with that baggage, Frenchie dealing with his baggage, Kimiko seeing this chick that she abducted and then scarred.
A-Train dealing with his.
It's all about the past.
It's all about the past.
Starlight and Firecracker.
Yeah.
Creating Firecracker,
That means
right?
next season's going into the future.
Yeah, Starlight has created her own villain.
Your
and all.
kids, Homelander!
Think about your kids.
Ryan's not surviving this season. He's dead by the end of the season.
Homelander, your son gets married to a black woman.
Oh, no. For Homelander. It's fine for anyone else.
Man, you know what? You say the internet shit gets clipped out.
Don't clip that internet, please. I'm begging you. Huey Sr.'s dead. R.I.P. Huey Sr. Very tough. I mean, like, I think a lot of the audience has had relatives maybe who have, like, lost their memories over time, and you don't get to say goodbye. And like he does kind of get away to say goodbye to his father, and he has to be the one to like dose his dad. Very sad, like very heavy. I mean, Huey brutally killed a man a couple episodes ago, or last episode, like gutting him open, which he killed Translucent, yes, but Translucent was a bad dude. Like this guy was a bad dude who was trying to kill him, but still, like had to brutally murder someone, and now he has to put his own father down. Like very sad stuff.
When you watch, my grandfather had dementia as well as my grandmother. So you watch people in your life go through that phase where they don't remember you.
Yeah.
And they remember earlier phases. Even when he was like, yo, it's me, he's like, no, Huey's 11.
Yeah. He's recognizing his ex-wife, but not recognizing his own son.
And he's not even
recognizing the most.
Put him in a V bath!
Stop giving him V. Dangerous. I mean, this was a bad move by Huey.
When dude was trying to flirt with the nurse, and my man was like, "Hey, let me take you." He was probably gonna get some too. He was like, "Let me take you out. I'm a nice." Oh!
Terrible stuff. This is why I stay out of hospitals. They're dangerous places. So this episode was all about these folks dealing with the consequences of their own actions. Before we get into our big questions, any favorite moments that stood out for you this episode? I personally loved all the barnyard stuff.
All the barnyard stuff. I love animals in movies. Anytime they introduce an animal in a movie or TV show, I'm like, if this animal dies, I'm breaking my TV. Yeah. And when they introduce this, like I think you see the sheep first, or is it the bull or bunny, something like that?
I think the chicken burst through the chest.
Oh yeah, the chicken burst through the chest.
Yeah.
Which was you see the guy with the nest in his chest.
Oh yeah.
With the eggs in his chest.
It was so good. I was like, kill these animals.
They kind of showed in the trailer, right, them shooting at the chicken and the flying sheep.
Yeah,
so we knew this was coming, but it's still great.
Yeah.
You feed up chicken.
And then they were just like suiciding against the side of the barn.
Oh,
like,
yeah, brutal.
You thought they were safe in the barn, and then they were like,
and you just hear, because I thought it was like, I was like, wait, did he kick in that fast? I was like, nope, that ain't that. Sheep, like, and the fact we got to see their point of view.
Right.
Oh, and also
the animal cam.
The implication when Butcher sees the thing coming out of the bunny is that that's what's inside Butcher. That's why he gets so upset.
He's like,
he's like, so that's the weird worm thing that's been bursting out of me to kill people. And he's like so upset, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see this thing burst out of Butcher.
Because remember, the bunny had Temp V.
Yeah.
But he had Temp V and V.
Right.
Yeah.
So the question is, does he still die though?
I don't know.
I mean, it would be cool if that was a power, if like this thing bursts out of you and then you and then you just heal every time.
Because how does it come? Because that's what we don't know how it comes out.
We don't know how it's coming out of Butcher. He's got at least 7 holes.
We've seen it worming around in his back.
Right.
Got at least 7 holes.
I also loved all the V52 stuff. Like that was very fun.
Phases 7 through 19.
Really kicking it to Marvel this episode.
Yeah,
which was great.
yeah. That whole opening sequence where they were introducing like the old movies. Up until the present day. And then Cameron Coleman being like, we're gonna go into a lot of detail about it, like making fun of Marvel and their 5-hour meetings where they're like, here's our whole phase.
Did you see how many movies Tech Knight had on
Tech Knight's getting at least 3 movies.
Yeah.
He got so many movies on the face, like, yo, what are you doing?
Some of those will just be on bot streaming.
That's true.
Before we get into our big questions this episode, we want to thank our sponsor today, including Nerd Riot. Hey, be sure to check out nerdriot.shop. We've got some great designs up there, different fandoms. We're always cooking up new merch ideas. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for this summer. And it's not just shirts. There's mugs, there's notebooks, there's
beanies,
there's hoodies, there's all sorts of stuff. Check it out, nerdriot.shop. Picking up some merch is the best way to support the channel. All of the channels from the new Rockstars network. Check it out. Head on over to nerdriot.shop. Okay, let's get into our main questions from this episode. You hinted at it, Gina. What is this thing coming out of the bunny? Does Butcher know about what this is at all?
Yeah.
Is he learning in real time? Like, oh, me have bunny disease.
You can see it on his face. Like when he sees the bunny, he's like, what's that bunny
Is
doing?
anyone else
and
looking?
then like it like blah, 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 and then he's like, I'm gonna stomp on it a lot because now I'm like he clearly knows in the moment like, that's what's been wriggling around. Also, remember when Ezekiel died and I don't really know if he doesn't know what happened to Ezekiel. Like we saw him sort of black out and then come to, and he was like, "Oh, I'm covered in blood, and this guy's all gooey." But I think he put 2 and 2 together when he saw that bunny and was like, "Oh,
yeah, he must know now, right?"
Dang, I'm gonna get bunnied."
I thought I had something. I had nothing. I thought I had something.
You pointed out, Jay, that like, yeah, we saw the bunny getting temp V. Now, when they catch Samir later, Samir's like, we only gave V to a hamster. And the hamster went crazy and knocked it and everything else. But we saw that they were giving temp V to a bunny.
Yeah.
So Samir lying,
Yeah.
what's
No,
happening
temp
here?
V is different than V.
Yeah, it's different.
So he's not lying.
He's
Yeah.
not, no.
He's just being like...
We only gave compound
Yeah.
V.
Okay.
Yeah, because temp V was a relatively newer thing.
Right, and it wears off after 24 hours.
Right,
is the
right.
idea.
That was like they introduced that last season. It was, but like V is the thing that they've been for decades since
Right.
Stormfront and her Nazis were like, yeah, this is great. But temp V is relatively new. But I think that this was the first time that they were like, okay, what, like temp V isn't really working that well. It's giving people holes in their brain.
So they gave them V.
And so they were like, what if we tried V instead? They're still trying to like recreate a Homelander. But obviously, if you take a baby and like put it in a furnace and are like, let's see if he can survive this, it does mental damage. So now they're like, what if we take a healthy adult who's already in therapy and give him V?
What if we do a cute cuddly bunny? What can go wrong with a bunny?
What can go wrong with Mr. Fuzzy Wuzzy? A lot can go wrong. Do we think Huey has this thing living inside of him? Or you're saying like you think maybe the mix of temp V and regular V has created this like...
Think about it. Huey stopped altogether.
Huey's also younger than Butcher. And if there is a danger related to age.
Yeah. I think he didn't get enough of it. I do wonder though what that aborted fetus that Starlight had was that like how much V was in that thing?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, was it Listen, since Gina went here first. I just want y'all.
I didn't say anything wrong.
No. I know because what I'm about to say is piggybacking off what you said. Gina went here first.
Jay, go.
Gina went here first. Here's what I'm saying: was the fetus V'd up?
That's
or
what
was
I'm
it
saying.
an easy way to like have the like? Did it almost?
Well, we know that like for the most part, two soups do not birth a soup, right? That doesn't that doesn't happen naturally. It hasn't happened in nature.
Right.
Because
Ryan's the first naturally born.
Yeah.
So
but if Huey had temp V cummies and Starlight
Not
V
comfortable with that
cummies?
term.
And Starlight-
Just say sperm.
Sandra Nova
Just say
leads to that
sperm.
fucking gutter.
Yeah.
and
Also,
Starlight has V eggies.
Right, but we also
Polaris isn't his son?
Polarity.
But it was
Polarity,
still-
isn't he?
Yeah, but
it was
no,
still-
he was given it.
still
He was
when
given,
he was a
okay.
kid. Yeah.
There's still kids, and even in Diabolical, the animated series, only 3 episodes are considered canon by Eric Key. One of them is about the 2 parents who get divorced or whatever, and they have a kid, and I think they talk about in that thing that like you still have to give the kid V. It still has something.
So
like all the ones that we saw in Gen V, like we see Translucent Sun in Gen V. That was all the soups being like, I'm a soup, give my kid.
Right.
Don't make
V.
my kid. Okay.
And like Homelander is different too because they gave him V like as a baby. Like
He was they
V'd up.
created him. Remember, he's created from Soldier Boy's sperm.
Right.
And he's V'd up on top of that. Because remember how Barbara said how he came out lasered his way out.
And they were making V'd up babies in season 1.
Yeah, but he was the first like V'd up fetus.
Right.
Like,
Fetus,
yeah.
So I don't think Huey and Starlight are necessarily capable. I don't think their child would have been powered up.
Okay.
We also don't know the timing. The timing is tough because we know that happened 6 months ago.
It's in between. It's the Gen V time.
Right.
More than likely, her having that was during the Gen V time.
But I don't think that Huey has any residual temp V.
And I guess you have to imply that
He's keeping it all out.
any V, because Ryan's conception is awful, but Becca has no V in the system. So in theory, like any child born with powers, it would come from the male. You would have to assume, right, that it's passed through the male.
But we just don't know. We haven't heard of any female soups.
Right. It's only happened once.
Well, even Homelander says in season 1, he's like, but I thought I couldn't, and they're like, yeah, us too.
Right.
Like he thought he couldn't have kids.
And maybe that will get retconned at some point in the show. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's why he's so, for as evil as he is, that's why he's so special.
Ryan?
No, Homelander.
Oh.
Homelander, because again, he's like Gina just said, I thought I couldn't.
Right.
And granted, like you said, the way Ryan is conceived is a very horrible way. But it just shows like, no, it's almost the Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
Right. Let's talk about Sage and A-Train and Ashley, what's going on there, right? Sister Sage knows A-Train leaked, right? Everything she's saying to him is so pointed.
Yeah.
And
she
pushing
gives
him in a
that
direction.
look at the end too, and he gives her a look.
Right.
She definitely knows, but it's playing into whatever long con
Yes.
she's playing here.
Somebody just ran it out of crime analytics.
Right. Yes, she knows
Yeah.
exactly what's happening. She's not that
Yeah.
stupid. And like A-Train knows that she knows.
Also, he's right now one of the only ones that's like smart enough to pull this off. Like the Deep isn't going in and being like, I'm gonna cover my tracks and I'm gonna steal it. You know, like the new Black Noir is still trying to find his character, so he's not gonna do something like this.
His motivation.
A-Train is really like the only one on the team who would have motivation and the like mental ability to do this, basically.
A-Train has been bullied by Homelander since season 1.
Everybody's been bullied.
I mean,
by
everybody's been
Homelander.
bullied, but you have the Deep who's complied. You know,
Deep's like too stupid to be
Yeah,
bullied.
he's not. Yeah.
Well, no, he can be
He
bullied.
ate his
Anyone can be
octopus
bullied.
friend. He made him eat his octopus friend.
Yeah. I think.
he almost made him
The
give
Deep-
A-Train head.
Well,
in
yeah, the Deep is Reek, right? He is broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is not. He is fully committed to whatever Homelander
Yes.
wants because he feels he's not worthy of his own life, which is sad.
But Sage, she out here like, all right, if I do this, do that. It's now I think the Ashley element, because she's a woman scorned. She didn't think she was gonna get dumped,
Right.
and so now also what else? Because A-Train even says it. It's not just a floater you did. So because she remember we saw a bunch of V was gone out of Homelander's thing.
Right.
Could Ashley have been taking the V2?
I don't, the missing V vials in Homelander's room, right? They're interesting. We don't know how many were there before. They seemed like some had randomly been taken. I think that maybe Homelander is either taking V himself because he's worried about aging, or he's been slipping it to Ryan because he thinks it'll make him stronger.
I think it's more
something.
likely that he's taking it himself. I think once he started keeping those gray pubes, he was like, I'm just gonna wake up, make myself a V smoothie, and see if that helps it.
Right.
And is that what's driving him psychopathic though?
No, he's been a psychopath since.
Yeah, but it could be increasing because the mirror has gone from just one reflection to
four.
multiple. His personality is.
That's what I'm
splitting.
saying, like-
he's making a Horcrux. Ooh, he's making Horcruxes. He's splitting his soul into 7 pieces.
The last one's in Nagini.
The last one's in Ryan, and Ryan has to die. Oh, the boy who lived come to die.
Okay.
Is there a possibility that Sister Sage is is just messing with A-Train and really doesn't want to burn him like this? They have a history. They were on teenage kicks together. When that got brought up in the first episode, right? A-Train was very dismissive of Sage, but he also, everyone else on the show has done you're the smartest woman on earth, and she's person. In that first episode, he was like, she's the smartest person on earth.
Yeah.
So you think maybe she's being altruistic? I think.
No, I don't know if it's altruistic, but I think it's maybe whatever happened on Teenage Kicks.
Yeah.
They're
bonded in a way.
They're bonded in a weird way, and she almost pities A-Train.
No, I think that she, since she is the smartest person on Earth, she should be smart enough to follow the logical, if Homelander is left unchecked, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. She wants to dismantle the current system to build it back up, but she doesn't want a white dictator in charge who was dating a Nazi. So she realizes if I'm going to do this, I'm the one who wants to pull the strings. She knows Homelander is going rogue and she can't control him. So having this on A-Train and A-Train, she's got to have put together that A-Train is maybe sort of working with the boys.
Right.
I think that she's all right, well, I don't want Homelander in charge. I'm going to leave this, I'm going to make A-Train a little bit afraid to keep him in control, but she knows she can't control Homelander. He is a wild card, and she doesn't like that.
Well, she kind of, her way of controlling it is sort of what you were saying, control the situation, right? She's like, all right, if I put these pieces in play for you to do, this is what should be the outcome. That's what happened. But then you go to the episode prior, oh, would you be that petty? And then he killed a girl.
Right.
You're right. I would be that petty. So the smartest person on the planet now has to put that into their equation.
Yeah.
With A-Train, it's there's a reason you're dealing with all this. She's reading up on files consistently. I know you don't. You had the situation with Popclaw. I know you had the situation with Blue Hawk, the situation with your brother, everything. So it's you clearly want to be here for one reason, but not the reason everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
So she's trying to do this now with the Tech Knight situation. we just gonna see him fucking random holes again, cause that's all it's liable to happen.
Yeah, I think all this leads into like another big question, right? Like, what are the two big plans here? You have whatever Homelander's up to, and whatever Sage is up to, and now Sage is brought in Tech Knight. She shows something, a MacGuffin to Tech Knight that we don't get to see yet. Now, the last time we saw this little trick, right, it was with Firecracker, where she was like, "Here's this," and then it's revealed in that episode that
medical
Annie
record.
had an abortion.
Yeah,
and it all blows up, and it's all part of Sage's plan. Clearly, this is another thing that she's giving the Tech Knight to reveal. Why Tech Knight? I mean, he's got his show.
Easy, because it's Tech Knight.
Is it because the public trusts him as an investigator?
Yeah, because he's an investigator and he's not as biased as Cameron Coleman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, if she
Who's
had
also
showed
can't
it to,
probably talk right now because he's dead.
But if
He's
she
dead.
if she had
He's
showed
dead.
it to him, Cameron Coleman might have gone to Homelander.
He would have gone.
Because like whereas Tech Knight is sort of his own.
But Homelander's
thing.
in the room when she's showing it to Tech Knight. You don't think Homelander's like, what the heck is this? Also, I have X-ray vision.
Also,
X-ray
Homelander.
and iPad?
No, he was focused. If you notice, Homelander walked straight in.
Okay.
He'd been
working on his speech.
Firecracker was actually talking to a black guy, which was crazy. Because she was talking Black Noir. I was like,
You don't think she wasn't saying a good thing, though? I mean, she talks.
She already told
She
Sage.
talks
She
to
was
Sage, and every time she does, she says something.
She said, "I would take you in the back and whoop you." Like,
the woodshed?
The woodshed? Like, yo. That's why you got what you got. I think Homelander, when he walked in, though, he just walked straight in to have his epilogue.
Right.
His monologue. So he knew exactly what he was saying. He didn't care about nothing else going on. So, and now you got Kate and Sam there, too.
Oh, let's talk about Kate and Sam. Kate and Sam. It was a little weird. I think I love Gen V, and I think they're introducing these characters as like, hey, in case you didn't watch Gen V, we're gonna give you like very one-dimensional versions of these characters. We have a lot of nuance for. Because hearing Kate being like, whatever you say, Homelander, was like very weird.
Yeah.
Because like we know Kate as more of a pushy person. Now, we were kind of talking before we started recording, like going back to that final episode of Gen V, right? Kate convinces Sam, like Sam, who's in so much pain, his mind's a mess, his brother's dead. She's like, I can make all that go away. So I understand why Sam is like puppy dog. I'll do whatever Kate says.
Yeah.
Kate is my drug.
Yeah.
Kate is keeping me like medicated. Kate, remember in that episode, was like tired of being pushed around. You know, Dean Shetty had like manipulated her. She don't, and she wants. I think I do see her aligning with Homelander because she wants Supes to have the power, right?
Well, you also got to remember the whole point of Godolkin is to join the Seven eventually.
Yeah, you're supposed to like work your way up to the
right, whether it be in crime analytics, PR, whatever.
Yeah.
Your whole point of being in that school as a Supe kid is to get into the Seven. You're not officially in the Seven. You're the Guardians of Godolkin,
right?
But you're right here now. When Homelander made this save, you two are elevated. So yes, Homelander, what do you want? Now again, Sage can be the smartest person in the room, in the world. She knows who this person is. Yeah. Okay, so don't let her touch me.
Right. Also, like Homelander's probably like, keep this girl away from me. Like, you better not take those gloves off, or I'll lay your hands right off.
Yeah, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Sam is cool. Sam is a weapon to point.
Right.
Yeah,
and I imagine
and
like
Sam is probably like Sam is very strong, but he can't possibly be as strong as Homelander.
Yeah, it's implied that Homelander is a very unique and
so if Sam's power lies in like I can rip a man in half, like that does nothing for Homelander.
But wait a minute, what about Golden Boy
rip
though?
Me in half.
Remember, they were trying to siphon some of Golden Boy into Sam.
Yeah, they were.
They were
doing it was reverse. Sam and the Golden Boy. Sorry.
Sam was stronger.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we don't know the limits of Sam's powers, but we have to imagine at this point he's like totally just brain controlled by Kate. Right.
He just probably thinks his brother died an unfortunate death.
Yeah.
Drugs, whatever. He probably doesn't even remember everything that happened. Because Kate has already been like, look, this is what you are, this is what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this wacky movie we got coming out called Flipped, which was wild. But
you could hear a little bit of their dialogue while I think it was someone's backstage talking. They introduced their thing, and as the conversation is going, you can hear a little bit of the dialogue from the movie, and you hear Sam saying, and this would be Kate and his body, like Sam saying to Kate, like, you took a shower, you washed my body, so like.
That's what it's supposed to be,
very
though.
Funny.
But so yeah, I think that's the thing with them. Like again, Sam's a potential weapon.
Yeah.
Sam's a weapon. You got Kate who's there, but again, you still have Marie and the others, and unfortunately, we don't know how they're gonna do with Polarity Jr. Because they said they're not going to recast him.
Right. They won't address that at all in this season.
No, not the boys, but it's just going for the Gen V. But I think when I bring that up because you may bring one more of them. Mm-hmm. Because Newman knows the only person as powerful as her is Marie.
Right.
So when you add, I just say all that to say, when you bring those two, Sam and Kate, you can potentially bring in other people from there. Mm-hmm. You have this door open because that's what it was meant to be for the whole time.
The forbidden door, if you will, Jay.
I know, right?
They can cross promotions from Gen V into the boys. There's a little wrestling.
It's a wrestling thing.
Wrestling.
I don't care.
There's a forbidden door.
There's a WWE into
let me take a quick nap while you guys talk about this boring crap.
So yeah, we know Sage's plan. Sage laid out this plan for Homelander, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how we take over.
And he went off book.
He went off book a little bit.
Almost immediately.
They've talked to Newman. They've kind of presented this opportunity to Newman too, right? Mm-hmm. So that is that Sage's actual plan, or is this like a sub plan she's told Homelander and she has her own plan?
Yeah, she's working every angle. I think if they want to live up to her introduction as a character, which was she's the smartest person on earth, we have no idea. We have not even seen
there should be a big reveal at the end.
I think if it's revealed that she's working everyone, if she's been manipulating the boys and Newman and Homelander and Vought and the Seven, that to me is the only thing that will live up to, the smartest person alive. I mean, she talks about Rome in the first, which is like, the greatest failure in history, essentially, right? Like when you're like, hey, we're going to build up this empire super big, and it's like, hey, this works for a little while, and then it all crumbles.
All empires fall.
If her plan is just like, let's build up Rome, and he's, like Homelander is the conquering hero, she has to know that will fail eventually. Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that lives up to her actually being the smartest person is if she's been working every angle all the time towards an end goal of her own making.
And Black Noir is the pivotal piece.
Okay.
She's the one who gives Noir his motivation. Because Noir just trying to figure out what to do.
He's asked everybody.
He's asked everybody. Just like Gina said, what if it's revealed like Usual Suspects? She's been talking to everybody.
Okay.
And the one thing she tells Noir is the thing that helps everything.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or they end this season with making this Black Noir brain dead, and then just like the other Black Noir, it's like there's your motivation. Bitch.
They turn him into Black Noir.
Oh, he just beats his brain out,
dude. Exactly. Oh, that's brutal. And so Homelander, we think, is just like he's following this roadmap Sage has laid out for him, but kind of doing it his own way, right? And
doesn't our character even say like you can't control what he's going to do? He's all instinct.
Right. That's Stan Edgar said it, right?
Yes. I think Stan Edgar
he's fear, and we know through Barbara, right? He has this built-in need for acceptance.
Exactly.
From some sort of maternal figure.
I think you can't. Even the smartest person on earth can't predict what an unpredictable person will do all the time.
Now, is Ryan changing him for the better?
Absolutely not.
He wants to create a future for Ryan. He sits there and he sees that Ryan is unhappy. And he's internalizing. He just went back home. Mm-hmm. He saw his old friends. He brought him a little Fudgy the Whale. Then he put him in the Red Room.
Ryan, in filmmaking, Ryan is the Luke Skywalker, right? It's all about the battle for his soul.
The duel of the fates.
He can either go light side or dark side, they have to keep us guessing.
Sure.
He can't be. Like, anytime we see him with Butcher, you're like, oh, yeah, like, this kid is good. He wants a cookie. He wants to, like, play foosball. And then anytime you see him with Homelander, it's like, hey, you want to smack that guy who touched your butt?
Right.
Like, you need to keep the audience guessing, because if you ever have him fully go into one... And also, this is a Kripke staple. Like, in later seasons of Supernatural, there was a character who was part angel and part demon. Spoiler alert.
What?
For season 15 of Supernatural.
I'm aware of season 2.
But, like, and they even have him, like, watching Clone Wars at some point and being like, I don't know about this Anakin character. So it's like, very much this is what Ryan is. You don't know which way he's going to go. You have to keep the audience guessing, and you can never really have him settle.
He's also a 13-year-old. Have you ever talked to a 13-year-old? They change their mind every week.
Disgusting.
My 13-year-old's now 20.
See? They change their mind constantly.
I think the thing with Ryan said it himself, I want to help people.
Sure.
But dude had to pay. He doesn't want to kill anybody.
He's already killed someone.
And that was a mistake. He
Well, he's also... he didn't really kill Stormfront. She killed herself.
Where he didn't try. Remember, he was just
laser
trying
her
to.
up.
He was trying to protect his mom.
Yeah.
He didn't even understand his powers at the time.
yeah.
When he threw old boy the stunt coordinator, he wasn't trying to throw him like that.
Sure.
Because remember, dude was like, "You can throw me, I can take it, unless it's against a concrete wall." What Ryan did, it wasn't being evil. It was like, this is a bad dude.
Yeah, but I mean, he's now opened Pandora's box of like, ooh, I have this power. My own father has told me I'm not a dumb little human. I'm a super. And now I got so much enjoyment from watching
I'm a super.
what I want play out, right?
Yeah, but again, it's not the way his dad wants it to play out. So I think the worry
This is exactly how his dad wants to play
his
out.
dad would have rather had him die.
Who died?
Would have rather had Adam, the producer,
I think
the director, die.
the Homelander is very happy to see his son taking pleasure from controlling people.
I mean, yes, you're right on that. But again, it's the way he did it. He made her slap the dog shit out of him 172 times. I'm pretty sure after the episode stopped rolling, he was still getting slapped in the back. Okay? And the thing is it was just her doing it. And I'm sorry.
Oh, you want him? Yes, he would like to see Ryan execute.
He would
a
see
person
that's what I'm saying. He
on
wants
purpose.
to see Ryan.
You got to
do
build
these
up
things.
to it.
It's much better to manipulate other people to do your dirty work.
Okay, Gina.
Yeah, be manipulative.
Stand behind it.
I really hope that maybe not this season, but at some point Homelander and Butcher team up to kill Ryan. I think would be like so epic.
It
So
has to
epic.
be. It's gonna be Butcher. It's gonna be Butcher and Ryan. Because remember, the whole concern is
I don't know. I think they're gonna turn Ryan fully evil.
Homelander said it to Butcher before. I think it was Homelander said it to Butcher. Mutually assured destruction.
Right.
So that's how it has to end. The two of them have to somehow, some way, be taken out at the same time.
Yeah.
There's no one goes then the other. They're going out together.
Right.
Whether that's the two of them, Butcher powering himself up, or Ryan taking them both out.
Yeah, and that's a concept across the boys, right? Victoria Newman said that to Huey at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Like, you know this about me, I know this about you, I can kill your whole family.
Yeah.
Well, though, family's looking a little thinner on
Yeah,
Huey's side.
once his mom is dead, he's got nothing to
Well,
live
the mom
for.
was never there in the first place, so she's
Y'all
still
are
a figment.
horrible.
I'm starting to think that the nurse was also a figment of Huey's
It's all. What if this entire season no
I
one
mean,
is real?
What if Huey's actually just blacked
if they
out?
cut to Huey in a room just like, I've been asleep for
No,
3 months.
what if it's all everything from the point that we met Sage is her sitting in her apartment imagining how things will play out.
And they cut back to Homelander, who's like, well, and she's like, I've got a few ideas. In credits, show's over.
But you
And
know
then
what?
next
Finale.
season is just what we saw this season.
It actually
but
plays out.
But with slight differences.
Slight
I'm not gonna lie, that would be.
Well, think
that
about
would
it.
be
Huey
awesome.
hasn't been involved in much. I mean, he's been at
Yeah,
the
they've
hospital.
really sidelined Huey. I mean, they had that.
Yeah.
I really think that the kind of sidetrack with Kimiko and Huey was like, it's strange. Again, I think this show sometimes the B and C stories get a little lost.
Speaking of which, do we think Frenchie is not staying in jail?
No, Frenchie and Kimiko just need to like talk.
Also, someone's gonna try and kill Frenchie because like he has ties
Right.
to like the Russian
Yeah.
mob. He has ties to all of these things. We're gonna see Nina like dispatch some guys.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill them in prison, and then he's gonna be like, "Well, this was a good experiment. I'm gonna let myself out."
Right.
Also, he works for the CIA technically.
Yeah. They're not gonna allow.
They're not gonna let him stay in jail.
Yeah, that's a good point. Someone's gonna show up immediately and get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, you did what your heart told you
Right.
to do. So now feel good.
They're also gonna be like, if you want to be in jail, we're gonna put you in.
We got a
black
prison for
site
you.
somewhere.
Yeah. You
No
don't
one's
get to
gonna
be in
see-
Gen Pop.
Yeah, you don't get to go to nice jail in the city. We're gonna put
You don't get
in
to sit there.
Siberia or
You don't get to
something
sit next to another dude.
Yeah,
named
yeah.
Stan.
like that.
You don't get to do
a
that.
canteen. What are you talking about?
You
Get out of here.
You don't get 3 hots and a cot out of here. You go to the jail we put Slade Wilson in on me and you and Arrow.
Dang, dude. They're crossing all the multiverses. Well, as we do on each and every episode of the After Show, we got to play a little game at the end. And for the boys, we decide who's the most super of this episode. This could be someone with superpowers or a regular person. Who do you think was the most super this episode? Gina, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I got it right off the bat because I said Simon Pegg, the actor, last episode.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say Stan Edgar this episode because not
Heck
only
yeah.
is it great to see Giancarlo
God, he was so
Esposito
good.
again, even in like a small, he just fucking kills it.
Oh.
Even as he's walking out of prison in his nice suit. Oof, so good.
Ugh.
But the fact that like you know, like he gets out of prison and then he's like going back there, but he's let out. You just know he's got some plans in the works.
Yeah.
Like the second he's out, he's gonna like mobilize. He's like the guy that's got like warehouses and suitcases full of money
Right.
in different currencies. He's like as close to the James Bond of this universe as we can get, and I love that he's back.
Well, and now the vice president is like teaming up with him, and I think the family bond will like heal all wounds. I
Yeah,
think, in this
yeah.
season.
I think he's smarter than she is. I mean, clearly he was able
created
to
her, right?
manipulate
Yeah.
her for
Yeah.
years. But I think the two of them together are now I think like we're seeing factions form, and they're going to be a formidable team.
They both want Homelander, if not dead, control.
Yeah, neutralized
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah, they're going to be a formidable team.
And he even told her, he was like, look, I care about you, all these things. And she still loves him like a dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, my man was in the back seat, watched the dude's head get blown off, and all he did was this. My man just grabbed a napkin and was
It's
like,
like, dude, the Secret Service. How many Secret Service members have died in this season?
Oh
of the show?
yeah,
At least 5.
You
right?
don't sign on.
Everyone
to,
who died
to
on that
this
farm
job.
was Secret Service.
yeah, oh, you that
As
one
soon
lady
as
you saw?
as soon as they showed them, I said red shirts.
Red shirt.
Ah, there we
baby.
go. We're gonna see a sheep burst through a woman's skull.
That one, when you saw the one woman Secret Service Sage, you
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you're out
Yeah,
here,
you're
baby.
gone.
Yeah.
You out of here. You out of
Sorry.
here.
Yeah.
I would say Gina's right. I like Gina's stand.
Yeah.
I got to go with Ashley.
Okay.
Oh.
Look,
She played a good move.
she
Really
played a
throwing
good,
Gordon Coleman
she
under
played
the
a
bus.
power move.
Love that.
Because he said, I need a dom
Yeah.
who's really dominant. How dominant
He
can
got
you
beat
be?
up.
Her other ex-boyfriend's the one who got slapped.
Yeah.
Yep.
So her
She's
stay
doing well.
away from Bone and Ashley, guys.
I mean,
Hey,
she
it's
don't-
not her fault that these jerks deserve what they
No,
should.
but
pulls
they
that-
always get some sort of comeuppance.
Yes, they do. She pulls her hair out while she bones you, too.
Yeah. I
Like,
hope
that's
she
also...
stops doing that. I hope she's
I
doing
can't
healthy
tell.
with
I
that.
can't tell.
We haven't had a reveal that it's still
I mean,
going on.
Sage did say to her, like, you plucked yourself
Yeah,
bald, so
yeah.
it implies that
Oh,
she's
it's
still
permanent. Oh, it's permanent.
I mean, you plucked hairs out from the roots.
Yeah. She
And
just
ho-
needs some Nutrafol.
Some neutral.
Some mane and tail. Mane and tail. That's something from the hood, baby.
I think my vote for who's most soup this episode. I really like. I mean, Stan Edgar. It was so great seeing him again. Really got to give it to Stan Edgar. Honorable mention to Victoria Newman. I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
This episode. She was a lot of fun. A step ahead of these idiots. I
Yeah.
kind of enjoyed that. Seeing her love for Samir
Yeah.
was sweet. Meeting the dad to Zoe. Very cute. And aligning with her, getting her dad at the end, kind of being like, you know what? Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
She told
Especially
Starlight-
if she thinks Samir is dead now. She's
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'll free my dad.
Yeah, I guess
hang
I'll
out with him a
tell
little
Dad.
bit.
She told Annie, she was like, you got to get your shit together.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
You can't.
Yeah,
You can't.
that was baller. And he, decks her, and she's just like,
See?
"Look at you.
See?
You're a fool.
Yeah,
You're
you're
full.
out of
You're
control.
like a punk."
You can't be a woman in the public eye and do things like this.
Get yourself together.
So in
lady.
other words, what Gina's just telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, Gina won't punch shit out of
Control
all of us.
yourselves. Control
And
yourselves.
she don't do it because the cameras are rolling.
I'm constantly wanting to punch everyone I work with.
Okay.
Great.
Well,
Well, that's it for us today. Thanks for joining us here on the Breakroom, the After Show. Be sure to follow us on all social platforms. Big thanks to Noah Chen for helping us write the summary this week. Mr. Jay Washington, where can they find you on?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. I think around the time this comes out, my special should be dropped.
Oh.
So make sure you check that out on my YouTube channel. Check out my special, Phenomenal Blurred.
That's right. Check it out. And be sure to follow Breakroom at BreakroomNR on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Twitch, wherever. If you-
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky? Are we on Blue Sky? Are we still doing Hive?
Yo, I still got Hive.
Is
I
Hive
still got
still
Hive. I got
popping?
Hive and Blue. I grabbed every one of them just in
Great.
case.
Right.
MySpace.
Find us there, wherever you can. We'll catch you next time. Let us get us. Goodbye.